Hello, welcome everyone. Welcome to newsstreamingnetwork.com, home of WGSN-DB Going Solo Network, which is our radio station, and then also home of Going Bold and Going Solo. Today's show is called Link to Expert Business Showcase, and we are so pleased to have you here with us today. I am one of your hosts. I am Cece Shatz. I'm fondly called the Doyenne of Relationship Building, and I have my good friend here with me, Joanne Weiland. Joanne, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, most people call me the connector because I love to find out what different people do to connect them with other people and often supply them with information or meeting someone that they can complete an idea that they have. And that's what I feel like it's all about, because we all have ideas, but it's really the ideas that we implement that actually make a difference. And sometimes we just need a different person, sometimes an expert, to be able to help us implement those ideas. So I love to connect. Thank you.
Yeah, and you do that so well on your platform called linktoexpert.com. Those of you that don't know about it, please check it out. You just go to linktoexpert.com. It is a collaborative cloud community. I am a part of it and I love it. So I want you guys to know that, that I use it myself, and I connect with a lot of business owners, a lot of individuals that really kind of help inspire me and move me forward in my business. So if you want to feel inspired, if you need a little help along the way, and you want to connect it with experts in their particular field, just look out and join linktoexpert.com. And I know that you'll be happy that you did. But let's move on to our topic today, because our topic is about water, right? Water. It is about water, which is so vital to us. And we have our wonderful guest here with us. So Joanne, you want to introduce her for us?
Yes. Actually, Cece and I met Teresa Reile at a CEO breakfast a couple months ago, and we were so excited to hear about what she's doing right here in our backyard. And that's unusual because sometimes we have people all over the world, but she's actually very global. And we want to introduce you to Teresa Reile. Welcome, Teresa.
Thank you, Joe. Hi, Cece. It's good to see you guys again. It was really great meeting you, and you really are a connector.
Oh, it is nice seeing you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it is
Thank
so
you.
so nice. So nice.
And she's on the
Well, our topic today is you are not fatigued, you are suffocating. And so I thought, wow, that's really something. That's a very unique topic. So Joanne, you want to start off the show for us?
Well, I'm sure she's actually might be fatigued. She just came back from Vienna, and she's a world traveler. She does so many things. I mean, when I look at what she has done to help so many people of all ages, and especially I felt like, when you to help the younger generation, because I feel like if we get them young, that they understand the value of helping each other and collaborating and taking care of each other, because you're definitely a true collaborator. I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, because there are so many things that you have done to make such a big difference in this world. And I was just curious, Teresa, I mean, did your family do that? Your parents or something that, like got you started on this path of making a difference in this world?
My mom always said, before you go, make sure that you leave the world a better place. I always joked and said, well, when I'm gone, it will be a better place. But no, she always was like that. And she would always take people in, and she raised us. She had 7 children, and she raised us to be totally helping other people all the time. She always told me when I was little, just help first, always help first, ask questions later. It doesn't really matter because everyone's walking around with their own cross to bear. And so I just grew up like that.
Well, that's wonderful. I think her name was Mary Lou, right?
Yeah, she was wonderful.
Yeah. So, and 7 kids. I kind of admit I thought you were probably an only child just because I saw all the things that you've done. And a lot of times when you have a parent that is like that, they can pour so much into you. But if she was actually dividing her attention between you and 6 others, as well as all these other things that she's done in the community, I just want to say thank you to both of you, because it really is amazing. I mean, this is very unusual to have somebody that has done so much in actually so many places and in so many arenas, because a lot of people stick with one type of focus. And I saw that you have so many that I just, again, was floored just because of the fact that it's almost like she must be 150 years old to have been doing all of those
There.
activities. Maybe it's the water. We'll talk about that. But seriously, Teresa, you are a real inspiration. And I just was curious if you wouldn't mind if we talked a little bit first about your past that led you up to this, because I feel like I said, you're a collaborator, but you have done so many things in so many other industries. For an example, supplying lumber and fuel, to eliminate coal so that we could have a safer environment. And what led you into that? I mean, you even did the logistics of it with the trucking and the distribution. So it's amazing how you've studied and learned and implemented so many things in that arena as well.
Well, what brought me into it, when I was married, my husband and I had a lot of different companies, and I learned a lot being in those companies with him. I learned a lot from him. He was really a great businessman. But when we got divorced, I had to reinvent myself and say, what am I going to do? And I had just come out of having these other companies, because we were in the waste business. And I thought, well, this is kind of something like that. So along with a friend, we started this company, and it was really eye-opening. I was the first woman in the United States to be doing what I was doing. And it thrust me into the spotlight. It was really kind of like, and honestly, in that business, I had to learn very, very fast. And it wasn't a huge learning curve because of what I had just come out of, but it was quite interesting. But I had 3 children at home. I was all of a sudden a single mother, and I had 3 children to feed. So I was like, wow, I have to do something. That's what put me there.
Well, thank you again, seriously, because even the recycling part that you did before that, I think is huge. My grandson actually teases me and says, yeah, you would even recycle a straw paper. So I'm really into recycling, because I feel like we just don't realize how that impacts our planet and our lives. And so you've done so many things like that. So thank you, especially with the 3 kids. I know all 3 of us have been single moms, and that's a challenge in itself. So, and I know one time you had a 5-star campground. I mean, you are so diverse. What led you into the campground?
Well, that was it was my husband's. And then when we got married, it became mine. And I just had to do it. I was pregnant with my second son. And I have to say, we've done a lot, and it was really, really fun. We were always super busy. And I remember that campground. Oh my goodness. I was very, very pregnant when we had that, and running around a campground. And then we wound it down, and then I had to liquidate everything while I was still pregnant and right after. I mean, it just a lot of things. It was a lot of things.
I mean, in landfill, how did that fit in with the,
Well, my husband and this friend started this company that I rebranded into a recycling company, because recycling back in 1993 was the buzzword. So we actually became a full-fledged recycling company. But then after we started getting very successful in the recycling, we became a full-fledged waste company. And then we bought 3 landfills, and then we grew actually very large. And we were in 9 states in the Northeast, and we were doing a full-fledged, very large waste company.
Well, congratulations and thank you, because I mean, that does make such a difference in our world, because we don't realize, what do we do with all that waste?
Well, people put their garbage out to the road and they want it gone, but most people aren't aware of where it goes from there. I wasn't until we had that company. And usually it gets taken away in a truck, and then it goes to what's called a transfer station, and it gets dumped there. And because we were in recycling, we had to we had to separate it all, and then it went into to other trucks. And if it was actually being recycled, then it got made into other products. But then if it was true garbage, it went to the landfill. And most people don't know, but the landfill business nowadays is very, very, very sophisticated. They log in every load, and if something got lost, like if they were looking for a dead body or something, they could say, well, we think it came in on this load, and they can know right where it was dumped, and they can dig right around there. Yeah, it's very sophisticated nowadays.
But that's huge that that they can do that. And I think it's wonderful, because a lot of people tell me that they don't recycle because they feel like it all goes to the landfill anyway. But I keep praying that that's not true, because I really feel like it's so important to recycle.
Well, in some areas, unfortunately, it does just go to the landfill. But in some areas, they really do recycling. And when you do recycling, it's quite a big job, really.
So how did you get from that to the liquid oxygen?
Now this is very interesting, because I have to say, and I know when I met both of you girls, you're very intuitive. And this was kind of I was guided. I have to say I was really guided by it, because I had a friend who needed a place to stay. This was a few years ago, and I was living in New York, and my girlfriend called and said, hey, this guy needs a place to stay. And when she told me his name, I said, well, I've known him for 30 years. Of course he can stay. Send him over to my house. Well, so he went there. And during that time, I ended up selling my house in New York and moving to Florida. And when I got to Florida, he was still at my house. So I went in there and I said, what are you doing here? And he said, well, it's kind of a awful story, but I was very, very sick. And so was my wife. We were basically sent home to die. And I'm, what are you talking about? He said, yeah. And I said, well, are you okay? And he said, I'm totally 100% fine now. And I said, well, what did you do? And he said, well, there's this water. And I went to Hungary, and someone told me about this amazing water. And so he went over there, and he was bathing in this water and drinking this water for 7 months. And both he and his wife totally became symptom free. And I said, well, what are you talking about? And so basically what it is that it's a condition called hypoxia. And hypoxia means lack of oxygen in the tissue at a cellular level. And your cells have inside of them mitochondria. Mitochondria are the batteries or the power plants of your cell. And if your mitochondria do not have enough oxygen, they can't create energy. So if you're fatigued, your mitochondria don't have enough oxygen. Your mitochondria live on oxygen and an electrical current. And so you know that if you're not feeling great, well, you are not creating enough energy. And your mitochondria, when they create energy, that's what boosts your immune system. So when your immune system is low, it means that your mitochondria aren't working properly. And so it's just like a battery. When a battery on your phone goes down, it starts not working great. It goes slower and slower, and then finally it does weird things and dies, right? Well, that's the same thing with your body. And if your batteries are fully charged all the way up, you feel great, you have a ton of energy, your immune system can fight off disease, and that's what this water does. It is actually, through a special modification process, it becomes stabilized liquid oxygen water that you can drink. Here's a bottle of it right here. And so I got introduced to it from this guy. So when he told me about it, I said, well, I want to figure it out. I want to go there. So like 2 weeks later, I was on a plane to Eastern Europe. I had never been there. And I went to this place and I started bathing in the bathtub. And the first time, like I didn't feel sick or anything, but the first time I got out of the tub, 50 minutes later, I had had this bump on the bottom of my foot for about 10 years. And when I got out of the tub, the bump was gone. And I had been, I didn't know what it was. It was in the arch of my foot. And I had been to my chiropractor, my podiatrist, my doctor of osteopathy. I thought my arch was falling. And they said, no, we don't know what it is. But it was gone. And it never came back. I have no idea what it was. It was something. Yeah. And so I thought, well, that's pretty wild. So I went back to the States, and then I came back a few months later with a couple friends, and one of them was really, 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 really tired all the time. He could hardly walk half of a block. He was just, ugh. Well, so I said, let's go to this spa. So we went there, and after the first bath, he walked out and he's like, wow, I feel great. And then he started walking in front of us, and he's like, come on, keep up with us. And we're like, what the heck? So then I was like, there must be something to this, right? Because like, it's not something that like, and it's different for every person. It's not something that like, oh, you drink the water and you get in there and all of a sudden you're Superman. It's subtle. Like for me was my foot, and I had a lot of energy and I just felt a really good sense of well-being. Well, then I came back to the States, and a very good friend of mine came to help me on a project that I was working on. And when he arrived, he had flown in from Utah. And when he arrived, I thought, wow, you don't look so good. I didn't say that to him, but he really didn't look that great. And he couldn't stay awake for more than 20 minutes at a time. He kept falling asleep. And he was walking up the stairs. He couldn't even walk more than 5 steps, and he would have to rest. And I thought, wow, something is really wrong. And I kept asking him, what's happening? Nothing. I'm just tired. I've been under stress. I'm just tired. You know, finally, after 5 days, we weren't getting any work done. I said, what is going on? And he said, I have been diagnosed with a very rare disease, and the doctors gave me 2 years to live. And that was 1.5 years ago. And I'm like, I was like, and I said, that's it. So I told him about the water. 2 days later, we were on a plane to Hungary, and we stayed there for 3.5 months. And so now unbeknownst to me also, I had cancer back in 2012, but I had an operation and I was fine. But in 2022, when we went there, I decided, well, I'm just going to go and see if I'm totally fine before I go there. And I had a PET CT scan, and I had really high tumor markers for colon cancer. And so I was like, oh my gosh. So I went over there, and the doctor said to me, he goes, you're very hypoxic. You have very low oxygen levels in your mitochondria. And he said, we don't cure anything here. All we do is we oxygenate and energize the mitochondria and give it oxygen so your immune system can boost itself. Well, I said, okay, because I felt fine. I didn't feel bad. He, on the other hand, felt pretty rotten. So 2 weeks later for me, I got my tests back and they were all clear. And I had so much energy. But the coolest thing was, after 2 weeks, my friend that had gone with me said, let's go for a walk. And I was like, what? And then the following week, he says, let's go to the gym. And I'm like, what? Like, he couldn't even walk up the stairs before them. So he started getting more and more energy. We started going to the gym 3 times a week. We started going on hikes. And so then he got after he got home, like he kept saying to me over there, he's like, you know, I do feel better. I do feel better. I have more energy, but I want to know what my doctor says. So when he got home, his doctor told him, you know, this is very strange. Usually the numbers go the other way, but in your case, it looks like your body's found a way to fight this disease off itself. And that's exactly what happened. His immune system became strong. So I drink this water every single day, and I feel fantastic. I have so much energy, and I know that anti-aging me. I know that it is, because I just feel great. I feel like I'm 20.
You look great. Let me tell you, you look great. Show us the water again. I'm going to take this down and bring you up so everyone can look at the water. I'm going to do this here.
And it's backwards.
I don't know why my computer's a little slow, but there we go.
Yeah, this water is called Kaqun, and it's named after the movie Kaqun, because people were getting younger when they were bathing in this water. And now what I'm doing with this water is I'm bringing it to the United States. And my company is now the distributor for this water in the United States. And people can get the water at my website, patriox.us. And it just totally helped me. It helped me so much. And I get people all the time saying, how good they feel from drinking this water. It's amazing. So,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So let's talk about this. What does it cost? I mean, and how do they get it? They order it from your website, right? Is that the only way to get it?
Yeah, they just order it on the website and we ship it to them. Now, prior to my coming along, each bottle, and it's a big bottle, and we recommend drinking 1 bottle a day, like a little bit every 2 hours, and then drinking other water in between, because it'll dehydrate you, because it's oxygen. So, but prior to us coming along, you were paying $23 a bottle, which included shipping. Now, it's $13 a bottle plus shipping, which is quite a huge savings. But we're going to be manufacturing very soon in the United States, which we hope will also offset a lot more of the cost, because we want to bring this water to everyone. We want to bring it to the world so that everyone can avail themselves of this and boost their own immune systems.
Thank you. That's wonderful.
Mm-hmm. That is wonderful. Now, I have some friends that have chronic fatigue, and which surprises me. And I just wonder if this water would, of course, we can't say we're not doctors. We don't know, that kind of thing. We're not going to, guarantee anything here on the show. But would this be maybe something they may want to look at?
Well, absolutely, because if your mitochondria are not getting oxygen, you will get tired. That's the first sign that you are hypoxic, is tiredness and then fatigue. That's the first sign. And I have many, many, many people that have come and said, my gosh, after drinking this water, I have so much energy. I had one guy who was a roofer, contractor. He called me while he was on a roof, and he said, I feel fantastic on this water. He said, I'm going to tell everyone about it. And he told me, he said he was so tired before, and he's just feeling great now. And and that's one of many people. And that's the first thing that people notice, is the energy coming back.
The energy, absolutely. We're going to have to take a quick break. But before we do, I want to make sure that everyone knows how to get a hold of you so that they can order this. So if you want to give Teresa a call, her number is 716-997-9069. If she's not there, leave a message. So it's 716-997-9069. And then, of course, you can reach her if you want to email her at Teresa. That's TERESA. Her last name, REILE@gmail.com. And if you want to order the product, you just go to www.patriox, which is PATRIOX.us. So go check out the website. It's PATRIOX.us. And, maybe give it a whirl if you're feeling, if you're just feeling tired and you think you need something, or if you maybe feel like we're going to be coming in, we're coming out of the cold weather, but we're getting into the pollen season and all of that. If you feel like your body needs a bit of a boost, this is actual liquid oxygen water. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that when we get back. You guys are listening to Link to Expert Business Showcase. We are on the WGSN-DB Going Solo Network and the new streamingnetwork.com, home of Going Solo and Going Bold. I have my good friend here, Joanne Weiland, with me, and I am Cece Shatz, and we'll be right back, everyone. Just hang tight for 30 seconds. Maybe, maybe not.
Domestic abuse survivors.
Well, welcome back, everyone. You're listening to Link to Expert Business Showcase. I am one of your hosts, Cece Shatz, and I have my good friend Joanne Weiland here with me. We are on the new streamingnetwork.com, home of Going Solo and Going Bold, and WGSN-DB, Going Solo Network Radio. So you guys, if you haven't heard the first part of the show, you missed it. You have got to go back and replay it. We're talking about being fatigued, and really being the fatigued is you're suffocating. And the reason you're suffocating is because you don't have enough oxygen in your system. And this product, which is the liquid oxygen water, will really help you through that. And this is what many people are drinking. And it's helping them. Of course, we don't endorse anything. We don't guarantee anything here on the station, but I will tell you, I drank it myself. Okay. So Teresa gave me a little bit at a meeting that we were in, and believe it or not, in just a very short span, and I only drank probably a small little cup of it, I felt different. And so I was amazed that I did feel different. And Joanne and I talked about that on the way home, that we did feel different drinking that. So, I just tend to wonder, if you drink more of it and you drink it for a longer period of time, how would your body react to that? So, maybe Teresa's got something here. So, worth trying. So is this FDA approved, this type of water?
Yeah, it's just water. It's just water. We don't add anything to the water. It's just water. It's a modified water, a structured water. So that's all it is.
And so how do you get it from over there? So you get it from, is it Hungary that you get it?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, right now I'm importing it from Hungary, because we are going to be manufacturing it very soon. We're building a big, huge machine to put into the water bottling facility, and we'll be manufacturing it here in the United States real soon. But until then, I'm importing it.
Wow. That's amazing, just because of the fact that, it'll be right here in our backyard for us, but also that you'll be able to probably distribute it throughout other states as well. Because I think you also are going to open one in Nevada and Georgia, aren't you? Distribution?
We have already. It's going so fast. Yeah, we already have. We have distribution in New York, Nevada, Florida, and within a very short period of time, California as well.
That's wonderful. So that'll be where they manufacture it as well as distribute it, or just distribute it?
No. We're going to manufacture it at one plant for now, and then hopefully very soon we're going to have more plants. But the distribution will start from the manufacturing facility and go out from there to our warehouses, who will then ship it to our customers.
Which is wonderful. Well, with your logistic background and all that, really helps. I mean, I'm sure that will make a big difference. So thank you for bringing this seriously. People don't realize it, but I know, a couple years back, I was really determined I was going to start feeling better. And I was shocked on the program I went on. They told us about the importance of water, plain water. I'm just talking about that. And that's why this is even more exciting. And I think people don't realize it, because a lot of my close friends and colleagues, I can't believe when they go to the hospital or the doctor and they actually come back and they tell me they were just dehydrated. I don't mean just, but I mean, there was nothing really physically wrong with them. They just were dehydrated. They weren't not drinking enough water. And, you know, I used to think I drank a lot of water. So I went on that program, and I'd like you to correct me if I'm wrong, but they taught us you take your weight, you divide it in half, and you drink that many ounces of water every day. And you would be so shocked how few ounces you drink if you really start measuring it. So with me, for an example, I put it in a pitcher so it holds the 100 ounces so that I would know that I was at least drinking that every day. Because a lot of times when you just get a bottle, like your bottles are labeled, but if you just get, you know, a glass, you're not really remembering, is this my third glass or whatever.
Mhm.
But can you imagine people drinking more water, like you said, as well as your hydrated water? That I feel like is a true win-win-win.
It is. Your blood cells, your red blood cells cannot carry oxygen if you're dehydrated. And you can live for weeks without food, actually months without food. You can
Yes, I was
only
going to.
days without water, but only a couple minutes without oxygen. And so, my doctor told me, the doctor in Hungary, he said that in the end, everyone dies from exactly the same thing. It doesn't matter if they fall out of an airplane, they die of hypoxia, lack of oxygen. That's what kills the body. Yeah. So, you're talking about drinking water. Drinking water itself does help you get more oxygen because the red blood cells carry the oxygen. But into the mitochondria, this water is what pushes it into the mitochondria. And why does that happen? Because there's pressure in the atmosphere and there's pressure inside your body. And the pressure inside of your body, it's called partial pressure, is about 100 mercury millimeters of pressure, which means each mercury millimeter of pressure is how much you need to raise it 1 degree on a thermometer. And inside your body is about 100. This water is about 300. So when you drink it, it pushes it into your mitochondria right away. So you get the oxygen. So like I said, it's very high oxygen content water. So you should drink regular water with it. So like I said before, drink a little bit and then a little bit more every 2 hours, but in between drink regular water in between, and it'll keep you hydrated all day, hydrated and oxygenated.
Well, I even read on your website, one of the testimonials too, the gentleman talked about how he doesn't even need coffee. He really feel like, coffee now that he has this to help him feel awake. And I know people often think that, they're drinking water when they're drinking coffee, but I've already been told that when you drink coffee, you need 2 cups of water to equal that 1 cup of coffee, just to zero it out to keep you hydrated. So, if you can eliminate your coffee and just drink this water, could you imagine how much better you would feel?
Yeah, I don't feel like I need coffee anymore. My problem is that I like coffee. So I've switched to matcha tea, but I don't really even feel like I need it anymore. Once in a while I do, but I don't need it like I used to.
Right.
So I wanted to ask you, and I know that maybe even some of the audience are thinking about that. We have, in the grocery store today, we see like Smart Water and these different waters. How are they different from what you have?
Well, like the Smart Water and all the different, they're all modified water, structured water also. But
Right.
most of them add something to the water. I don't know if all of them do. We don't add anything to our water, nothing. It's strictly a structured water. So now, there's a new craze, hydrogen water, people are buying these little things. But, I ask you, how many people have you heard that have died from a lack of hydrogen? No one.
Yeah.
No one. Your body's 98% hydrogen, right? You don't. But oxygen, on the other hand, you need oxygen. So our water is very different because it's very high oxygen content, and we don't add oxygen to the water. We don't add anything. There's other oxygen waters out there that they infuse it with oxygen. So when you open up the cap, the oxygen just dissipates and you don't have it. But ours stays. You can leave the cap off of this water. You can literally leave the cap off for 3 days and it'll still say fully oxygenated. But if you open it and you put the cap back on, you can keep this water for up to 57 days and it'll it'll still stay the oxygen content, because it's actually it is actually high oxygen content water. It's stable. So that's how we're different. We're very different.
Yeah. I know my doctor had told me to drink smart water because it has like electrolytes and all of that in it. So, but I would think this would be better because it would have the oxygen in it. So,
well, I recommend that people take electrolytes. I don't know about smart water. I mean, you can listen to your doctor, but I recommend people to also drink electrolytes, because especially down here in Florida, you know, it gets hot and you lose the minerals and things out of your body. So I always say, drink this water, and then with your other water, put electrolytes in there and your minerals, so you have everything.
Right. Yeah.
Which makes sense. Yes.
Yes. Just keep doing what you're doing, but add to this and see if this helps you. And especially, I guess, if you're really struggling with fatigue, or if you're struggling, a lot of people still have that after effect of COVID. You know, they still have that long term, whatever they're experiencing. And so, you know, maybe their resistance is, I guess, down. And, you know, maybe this is an answer. Maybe this is something to try. You know, those out there, like you said, it's water. And so, you know, it's not going to hurt you. So maybe try it and see if it helps you. Yeah,
Yes.
Absolutely.
And aren't you also opening a spa here too?
We are. We're opening a spa where you can bathe in the water. And these special tubs that we have make this water. And the water that you bathe in is like 6 times more powerful than the water that you drink. So it goes right into your cells while you're in the tub. And it's so relaxing and great. And hopefully we'll be open soon. We're still in construction phase there. And we hope to be open real soon in Largo, Florida. So,
wow.
That's just a stone throw away from me.
Yes, you'll have to come. You'll have to come.
And it's perfect. Also, to think about it, so many people come to Florida for vacations, so they could have this as a vacation destination and enjoy the water at your spa as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be fun. I mean, we're super excited about it.
No, that's really cool. Thank you so much, because I mean, you've helped people both in the nonprofit sector as well as the for-profit, as well as, you know, with the government. You've worked with kids, your community. I think a lot of it was up in Buffalo, because you recently moved down here, correct? Or am I mistaken?
Yeah, I've done it. I'm originally from there, but I've done it all over the place.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes. Wow. So
where are you at in Largo? I mean, in Florida. Where are you located now?
I'm personally here in Largo, and the spa. Yeah, where the spa is going to be, it's literally right down the road, so it's perfect for me.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, we definitely have to get together in person and hang. But yeah, so I love that. But everyone, please check it out, because you know what? We're always looking for ways to, you know, number one, make us younger, feel younger, be younger, but we want to live longer. And so maybe
and healthier, because it's not, I always think, what's the use of living longer if you can't do anything? So
yeah, you don't feel good. I mean, I feel better now than I have in years, and I drink this water every single day, and I know that it's tightening my skin. I just know that it you know, I just feel so good.
Well, look what you said about your foot in one bath. I mean, because that's one of the things I wanted to ask. Can you see results pretty quickly? Because some things, you know, they tell you have to do this for the next couple of years or whatever. And, you know, most people give up. But when your foot was changed, transformed in, you know, from your bath, that's amazing.
Yeah. And it's different for everyone. It's like, I didn't even know, like I had been so used to that bump on my foot. But I noticed when it was gone.
Right.
You know, I didn't notice when it was there anymore because it had been there for years. But when it was gone, I'm like, whoa, that's gone. You know?
Well, we are so glad that not that your friend got sick and his wife, but that incident happened, that he lived with you, and then he got to experience this with you, and now you're bringing it to the world. So that really summarizes Teresa's life. She finds something that's going to make a difference in the world, and she goes all out. I mean, look at this, all these distribution centers, all this, the spa, and even bringing the manufacturing plant here to bottle it here. Thank you from our hearts, that is huge, that you really want to make a difference in this world and continue to. Thank you.
Oh, you're really welcome. And I would like to get together with you both and we can sip some water together. Yeah, I really do want to bring this to the world. It is my passion in my later years of my life. I didn't need to do this at my age, but really the people that we've helped so far with this, they're just so happy. They're just so happy. And that's what drives me.
Yeah, that's important. So show us the bottle again. And how many ounces is it? Because you said drink one bottle.
It's 1.5 liters. So the ounces are 50.7 fluid ounces. But when we manufacture, we're going to do it in half liter bottles. So it's easier to carry. You can stick one in your purse and carry it with you because this is very big.
Right.
But we're going to do it smaller.
Right. A little bit easier to maintain. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, because when I lift these 6 packs, it's kind of heavy.
Oh yeah, that's a workout in itself.
Yeah, that'll be that.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, we're always trying to bring something new to the area here and let people know about them and experience them. And so I want to thank you so much. And I know that you are just a spitfire yourself because I've met you in person and we were at the meeting together and you shared the water with us, which was fantastic. And it doesn't taste like anything but water. I mean, I will tell everybody that there's no additional aftertaste or anything like that to it. It's just drinking water. So I drank the water, right? And I sat there and I thought, okay, now let's see what happens. Nothing. I didn't feel anything. I didn't feel like there wasn't like bubbles happening or anything happening. But I will tell you that as time went on, I felt like I had energy. And I was very surprised by that because I drank a very small amount. And I thought to myself, if you drink that for a longer period of time, I would think you're gonna have the results that you're saying. So give it a shot, guys out there, just guys and gals. I mean, come on. If you're feeling, fatigued, if you're feeling like you just need a boost or whatever, give this a shot and see if it works for you. So you can go on the website and order it. It's patriox.us, Patriox. So it's patriox.us. If you lose this information, it's in our show notes. So don't worry about it. You'll be able to find it there. If you want to send Teresa an email and talk to her about it, a little bit more about it, maybe tell her what your situation is, that maybe she can, help and recommend something to you. But of course, she's not a doctor. We're only just sharing the water with you, and you might want to talk to your doctor about it or whatever. But her email is Teresa, Teresa. Her last name Reile @gmail.com, or give her a call. If she's not there, leave a message. It's 716-997-9069. You can give her a quick call and let her know that you saw her here on the Link to Expert Business Showcase. And try it out. I mean, we try out things all the time. So why not try something that maybe really will change your life? I appreciate you, Teresa, and all that you do. I think you're really you're just one of these women blazers, path blazers. And you see something and you don't hesitate stepping forward and saying, you know what, hey, let me try this. And I tried it. And now let me share it with the world. And kudos to you for doing that because it takes a lot of energy and the water is definitely making that happen. So we're talking about liquid oxygen water and make sure that you guys get this because it will enhance your health and wellness and definitely check with your doctor. Make sure that's good for you. But, hey, we eat candy bars and we eat potato chips. Try water. you try this water and see if it maybe will help you. So, but anyhow, you guys, we want to thank you so much. Are there any last words you'd like to share, Teresa, with our audience?
You were talking about, fatigue and stuff. I noticed myself that when I drink this, I've been drinking it all the time. I do not have any brain fog anymore. I am very, very sharp thinking. And as you said, Joe, I had just gotten back from being overseas. I didn't have the water with me over there. And for the first couple of days, I was really kind of out of it. And, jet lag and whatever, but I've traveled overseas with the water with no jet lag. But then when I went to Hungary, I was in Vienna and then I went to Hungary, I drank the water and I've been fine ever since. So
Very cool.
I noticed the difference when I do not have this water for a couple days. Oh my gosh. And then
it's less than 30 hours ago that she came back. And I know just so many people in my lifetime that have come, have jet lag for sometimes days or a week when they come back from Europe or wherever back to the States. So, I mean, that's proof. Look at you, looks so vibrant. And this woman is so amazing. She actually has been doing things in theater, screenwriting, singing, songwriting, stand-up comedy, emceeing events, television shows. I mean, so many humanitarian projects. I just mean that she has all this energy, and now with the water, she's even going to do so much more and help all of us do so much more, because it's not just what we do, but it's how we feel and want to do. Because a lot of times, if you don't feel good, you don't want to do anything. So thank you for bringing this to the States. We really
you're welcome. You're welcome.
Sure, absolutely. Well, we love you. Thank you so much for taking the time out and being with us here today. So again, please check out the website, which is patriox.us. So make sure you check it out. Look at everything there. You can order directly from there. And yeah, do it. I mean, don't hesitate. Just see if it helps you. Try it and see if it helps you and go with it. So we appreciate
have
it.
an affiliate partner too and save more as well in the water.
Well,
So
you can make money. Some of my affiliates are doing
we want to make everyone aware of this. So everyone, we want to thank you so much for listening to Link to Expert Business Showcase. I am your host, Cece Shatz. I have my good friend Joanne Weiland with me. We do this bi-weekly, sometimes weekly if we've got something really great we want to share. So make sure you watch out for us right here on newsstreamingnetwork.com, home of Going Solo and Going Bold, and of course our WGSN-DB Going Solo Network radio station. We want to thank all of you that follow us, all of you that listen to us, and all of you that really connect with us, because it's so important to us. We want to thank you so much. We love each and every one of you, and we want to thank you for joining us. And please share, share, and send this video out, because those that you love might very well benefit from this, and we want to definitely get the word out that you could possibly change your life today. So anyhow, we'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Bye. Love you, girls. Thanks.